News later.
Good evening and thanks for joining us here on Q2. I'm Zoe Zandora. Tonight in national news, President Trump says he expects the newly reopened background check of Brett Kavanaugh will turn up nothing. Mr. Trump also said his administration isn't placing restrictions on the FBI's probe of his Supreme Court nominee. CBS's Mola Langi reports from the White House.
This can't become a fishing expedition like the Democrats would like to see it be.
Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says the White House is not trying to limit the new background check on Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
We're not micromanaging this process. This is something, it's a Senate process. It has been from the beginning.
On Friday, Senate Republicans asked the FBI to look into stories of Christine Blasey Ford and Deborah Ramirez. Each has accused Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct in the early 1980s. President Trump has given the Bureau a week to do it. Some Democrats say that's plenty of time, provided there's no outside interference.
As long as it is conducted in a professional manner and we give the FBI the ability to do their jobs instead of having it be micromanaged by the White House, we can at least get to the bottom of the evidence.
But others believe the scope of the investigation is too narrow because it won't include any other women's claims.
The only person who didn't want to have an FBI investigation, frankly, was Judge Kavanaugh.
Ms. Ramirez will be interviewed by the FBI, and Mark Judge will be asked, did you ever witness Brett Kavanaugh drug or gang rape women? And I think that'll be the scope of it, and that should be the scope of it.
On Monday, the Supreme Court will convene for the start of its fall term with only 8 of its 9 seats filled. Mola Langi, CBS News, the White House.
The Senate isn't waiting for the FBI report on Kavanaugh. It's scheduled to begin debating his nomination on Monday afternoon. Kavanaugh has categorically denied all of the allegations against him. Today in Indonesia, the death toll from Friday's earthquake and tsunami doubled to more than 830 people. The earthquake unleashed waves that swept up or destroyed everything in their path. Workers dug a mass grave this weekend in the city of Palu. Rebecca Hinchke of BBC News is there.
Up to 50 people are believed to be still under the rubble of the Roa Roa Hotel here in Palu City. Rescue workers are trying to find survivors. Authorities say the death toll is expected to continue to rise. Now, some of the most vulnerable are getting help, but those left behind are struggling. With aid only now just trickling in, desperate residents are taking matters into their own hands. Relatives are flocking to the area to try and find out the fate of loved ones.
People have been waiting for hours for petrol since this morning. They've come this way trying to reach the affected area of Palu to find out what's happened to their loved ones. Amongst the crowd here, mothers who don't know what's happened to their children.
This lady hasn't heard from her son and daughter since the quake hit. With aftershocks continuing to be felt, frightened survivors here are spending another night out in the open.
Rebecca Hinchke, BBC News for CBS News, Sulawesi.
Governor Steve Bullock launched a business development initiative 5 years ago called Main Street Montana. On Tuesday, he was in Shodo to announce that he's starting the next phase of that project, focusing on rural Montana. MTN's Mike Dennison was with the governor in Shodo and files this report.
As he met with Shodo residents at the local library Tuesday, Governor Bullock listed some promising economic growth stats for Montana, but said too often that growth is limited to our cities.
And ultimately, I think we all have an obligation and opportunity to ensure that rural communities and Indian country certainly isn't being left behind as we see growth. And that's a chunk of why we're here today.
Bullock and his Lieutenant Governor, Mike Cooney, said the original Main Street Montana project has helped business growth in many ways, such as improving workforce training and cutting unnecessary regulations. Now they want to tackle the unique growth challenges facing rural communities in the state. The governor and administration officials already have held listening sessions in several towns and plan to partner with a half-dozen specific communities to identify what help is needed. Cooney said the administration plans to listen and not dictate any grand plan.
We're not here to tell our rural communities what the solution is. We are here to assist. Our number one goal is to make sure that these communities are in charge of their own futures.
Choteau Mayor Dan Lannon says his town has already worked on diversifying its ag-based economy, but will take any help the state can give to encourage more people to move to or stay in rural Montana.
We're still farming and raising the same amount of cattle as we did 30 years ago, but we've got 25% of the people doing it, from the bigger machinery, the technology, whatever. We don't have the numbers on the farms anymore. We've still got a really good school system here, and to keep it, we need people to live in our community.
Cooney says that's precisely the goal of this next phase of Main Street Montana.
I remain optimistic that we can not only keep our rural communities on the map, but we can make them places where Montanans want to live, start a business, raise a family in our great state.
Reporting from Choteau, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Mike says the governor says the project hopes to identify and coordinate both public and private resources that can help foster growth in rural Montana. Well, today it snowed in Billings, and due to the cold weather, the 406 Diabetes Walk at Zoo Montana that was supposed to happen today was postponed and now will be held on Sunday, October 14th. Registration starts at 9 a.m. and the walk at 10 a.m. The walk helps raise awareness and raise money to send children to the ADA Diabetes Camp. In other news, after one woman discovered her son was allergic to big brand name soaps, from laundry detergent to toothpaste, Kelly Lake saw the need for a healthy and sustainable alternative. Lake founded Kelly Green Soaps, a local soap production company with safety, accessibility, and most importantly, no waste.
Initially, it was about the internal ingredients in the soap. How the revolution came to be was because a couple years ago, or last year actually, when I was offered a lot of money to have huge distribution, the packaging specs that came in were horrific.
Kelly Green Soaps came out Lake's personal need for safety detergent for her children and found success in markets across the state. Lake turned down lots of money for a more sustainable model. She preferred a system where soap buyers can reuse and refill their jugs at local businesses in over 25 locations in western Montana. At this point, Lake's #1 priority is to produce as little waste as possible. Today in Bozeman at Iho's Korean Grill, people ate for free as long as they donated to disaster relief funds. MTN's Medeiros Bab takes us to the restaurant where the message is clear: help those in need.
We reached out and helped them together.
You might recognize Iho Pomeroy as one of Bozeman's city commissioners, but today she is running her restaurant, Iho's Korean Grill. Customers who walked through the front door got their meal for free, with the only ask being to give a donation. The money would later be split 50-50 to go towards 2 funds. One for families who lost their homes due to the Horseshoe Fire near Three Forks, and the other for people impacted by Hurricane Florence.
We are very blessed. People in this community, they are very kind and very, very generous, and they're willing to help other people. So we are very blessed.
Iho's fellow commissioner, Terry Cunningham, helped out by waiting on the tables throughout the day. Judging by the amount of people who showed up, he credits the event as a success.
We've seen time and time again that folks in Bozeman and the Gallatin Valley step up and say, it didn't happen to me, but it could happen to me tomorrow.
There was a variety of different food offered to those who donated: rice, noodles, or even this delicious bibimbap.
Michael Faust is from North Carolina and still has family and friends who live there.
When you're in need, and if you've lived through a hurricane, you kind of know that it's not just about supplies, it's about really restoring a sense of calmness and care, and that when people really reach out and extend a welcome hand, it really does make a difference in your psychology of how you really begin to think about tomorrow.
Iho says no matter where natural disasters take place, one thing is clear: the Bozeman community is here and eager to help. In Bozeman, Medeiros Bab, MTN News.
Medeiros says that Iho and her restaurant did not take in any money during the day. It only went towards the 2 natural disaster funds. More to come here on the 10 o'clock news. In tonight's Montana Ag Network, we travel to the High Line of Montana to learn about a business that really is farm to fork. And later in sports, what do we make of the Cats so far this season? We'll see what the team thinks heading into their bye week. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Connor Pregitzer in the Weather Center.
And if you were like me, you woke up a little late this morning with a view of some of the white stuff, and that made you feel just a little sad that this summer season has fully slipped away. But we'll talk about some more warm conditions coming our way in the not so distant future. The full forecast in just a little bit.
You're watching MTN News with Zoe Zandora, Storm Tracker Weather with Connor Pregitzer, and Sports with Casey Conlon. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.